The newly nominated Cabinet Secretary for Defense, Mrs. Soipan Tuya, has once again made President William Ruto proud for having nominated her to the very sensitive defense docket. Mrs. Tuya, who is an ex-Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry in Kenya, yesterday wowed President Ruto and the likes of Moses Wetangular, Gladys Bosholei, who revealed that they had previously mentored the nominee during her early years.
Honorable members, we'll now proceed. I should disclose that the nominee was my pupil in her early years in my law firm. I should have done so with Kindiki as well. But, pardon? Yes, I have bragging rights.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I can also make a confession that the nominee was my student at University of Nairobi. But that in no way will affect my judgment.
Before we go straight to our main theme, if you are in this channel for the first time, please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that YouTube can notify you when we upload a new development to this video. Now let's get back to our business of the day. The manner in which Mrs. Soipan Tuya answered difficult questions and the confidence which attended her speech has made President William Ruto a proud commander-in-chief, having settled on her to be a policy maker and chief advisor who is best fitted to work with the Chief of Defense Forces alongside service commanders of the Kenya Defense Forces. Her background as a lawyer and her experience as a parliamentarian of 2 terms or more has enabled her to survive the grilling questions of the Defense and Foreign Relations Committee in Parliament yesterday. Have a look at some of the most defining moments of Mrs. Tuya's interview in Parliament.
Honorable Soipan, like you said, that the defense docket is highly regulated by law and rules and standing orders and military procedures. We have the Constitution and the Kenya Defense Forces Act, which establishes the position of Cabinet Secretary for Defense, who is then the principal advisor of the President on defense policy, while we have the Chief of Defense Forces, who advises the military on operational and administrative matters. So despite these 2 distinct roles, there's a potential that there can be an overlap. How do you intend to manage that relationship? Because that is probably the most difficult thing in the position.
In terms of my role as CS for Defense, upon confirmation by this committee, I understand my role as being that of principal advisor to the President on matters of policy, also a heavy advisory role to Parliament on matters policy formulation, assessment of the capabilities of the Kenya Defense Forces, and any attendant action to ensure maximization of our capability. Mr. Speaker, I am aware of the distinction between, I have no military background, and the Ministry of Defense has both a uniformed unit and a civilian unit. My role upon confirmation, again, will be chair of the Defense Council, the composition of which consists of the Chief of the Defense Forces, the CDF, and the service commanders. I am a team player by design and by practice. I am also very consultative in my leadership philosophy. And this is a skill set that I will have to employ heavily in terms of the need to understand the operational and administrative role of the uniformed side of the ministry for complementarity, but also to give me a competitive edge in terms of bringing my expertise from the civilian aspect, borrowing and learning from the uniformed aspect, so that my advisory role on policy is going to be rich and sufficient to advise the Commander-in-Chief, as well as my interaction with Parliament.
Waziri Honorable Soipan Tuya, who many can refer to as a beauty with brains, having been trained both at the University of Nairobi and in the United States, is the first Maasai woman to be a cabinet secretary in the Republic of Kenya.
I am Rosalinda Soipan Tuya, a former member of Parliament. I pride myself to have served for 3 terms, 2 terms at the National Assembly, and a very short 3rd term as a member of the Senate. I'm a lawyer by training, having done my Bachelor of Laws degree from the University of Nairobi. I have also acquired a diploma in law through the Advocates Training Program at the Kenya School of Law. And I have a Master of Laws in Sustainable International Development from the University of Washington in Seattle.
Mrs. Tuya has reportedly fought many battles from family, court, and even the public arena. She now finds herself at the deep end of the Defense Department. It would be interesting to watch how this remarkable woman will navigate her way within the corridors of the new executive chambers. When President William Ruto nominated Soipan Tuya as the new Cabinet Secretary for Defense, who would replace Mr. Aden Duale, many people expressed great dissatisfaction with the nomination, citing various reasons such as inexperience and incompetence in handling such a sensitive national security docket.
And I believe that my role and experience in the 3 fields posture me well for the assignment ahead. The assignment ahead, should I be confirmed by this committee, again is largely a heavily constitutional office. You will find that the defense sector, or the defense space, and indeed national security, really has the Constitution and Parliament as the bedrock of operations of the role ahead of me.
Others expressed very contemporary concerns, alleging that the president might have nominated Mrs. Soipan Tuya out of utter familiarity, rather than from a diligent assessment of her capacity to handle security matters.
So in appreciating and thanking His Excellency the President, William Ruto, for nominating me for this position, I believe that I have the requisite experience and training for the job. Thank you.
What do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions by dropping a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more informative content such as this one. Cheers.